iced coffee. What's your iced coffee order?
Um, it's pretty simple. It's just iced coffee with a splash of whole milk. And I
Refreshing.
think, and I think that I'm. People always think that I have like an accent of sorts, like from like Midwest. I just talk strange, and I grew up in upstate New York, but people always think I have an accent of sorts. And I bring that up because on the other day when I ordered, it was like I go to work in the morning at like 5 a.m., so I'm up early, and I ordered an iced coffee at Starbucks, and I'm always say, "Oh, large, whatever, venti cold brew with a splash of whole milk."
Right.
And I remember the barista, she was a female. She said, whole milk, WHOLE. And I was thinking, yeah, not HOLE. It was just so weird. I was like, yeah, cold brew with a splash of whole milk. And she's like, oh, with a W? And I'm like, yeah, with a W. I don't know.
That's so weird. Well, I
And she
mean,
was,
I'm from Cleveland, so you don't sound like you have an accent to me, but I'm
it's just
Midwestern.
weird. Yeah, I think I have like I just pick up accents from anybody that I'm around or talking to or an area. I was in Tennessee for a while, and all of a sudden I was just country. When I said oil, I'd be like, oil, gotta go get some oil in my car. Or it's just, anyways.
That's wild.
George, you know I'm a mess.
You're not. How's San Diego?
Oh, so beautiful. But we just got out of a hot spell. I live in San Diego proper, but I work in Escondido, which is like about 30 minutes, sort of like north in inland. And it was hot, 109 degrees the other day. And I work outside, and I'm like, here I am in the back of trucks
Oh my God.
doing manual labor, sweating.
Awful.
How is Philadelphia?
It's good. I just got back from the Pines, so from Fire Island, so I was there all week, and then I just taught today, and it's fine. It's temperate. It's beginning to be
Beautiful.
fall.
I've never been to Fire Island or the Pines. I've always been a P-Town gay. I feel like there's either P-Town gay or Fire Island gay, or I feel like most people are one or the other.
Yes. I mean, I think I'm probably like you. I'm probably more of a P-Town gay in general, and I go to Provincetown every Halloween for Spooky Bear, and I go sometimes, usually off season. But I have some friends that have a house in Fire Island.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so when I'm there, it's like more about hanging with the people in that house and going to the pool and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't go like to the Pines Circuit Party or anything like that. But
Gotcha. You have your own sort of experience. I'm that way in P-Town as well. Like I go there and there's like, like I've gone a bunch of years during the bear party, like bear week. And so of course there's like tons of events, but I've also gone to like bear weeks, and I've seen friends online afterwards, and they're like, you weren't there. And I'm like, I was there. I just was like, just swimming upstream, or just kind of had my own agenda. I didn't go to like every sort of like a circuit party, pool party.
yeah, I think you got to be judicious about
Yes.
going to those things.
Okay, so those who are just tuning in, we are speaking to George Alley, recording artist, writer. I wrote it all down. Professor, podcaster, and generally sweet guy. That's the vibes I get. Sweet guy.
It's a delight to be here with you, Mike.
Yes, it's been. I feel like I'm more familiar with you than I probably should be, as far as like we've not like interacted tons, but I've known you sort of like in my peripheral vision and circle for years.
Yeah, we've had little chats here and there.
Yeah, it's fun, and I have been watching you. Not like creeper through like the window in your kitchen, but like on your social media, and you look like you've had an HOTTOGO summer.
I have, yeah. I've been traveling a lot.
Yeah, I've noticed just like through some of your posts, it looks like you just had a fun summer, and you were like often like in pools with like hot dudes floating around in like speedos. George, are you a slut?
I just play one on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but
Where
no.
did you travel to?
Well, I just got back from Fire Island,
Pines, right.
and then before that, I have some friends. I have a lot. I'm mostly just visiting friends in their houses,
Yeah.
because then I went upstate to Hyde Park and I spent a week there, and then I've been in New York a couple times, and I was in Cleveland, where I'm from, and then I went to LA, and yeah,
I mean, the summer went fast. The fact that it's
Provincetown.
already.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in Provincetown as well?
Yeah.
I like that you said you go off season because we went like, me and my husband went like 6 years in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Because we're like, we cannot miss it. And then life happens. You know, we want to travel to other places in the world and we're like, we only have so much time off. But the last time I think we said we like want to try either off season or for Spooky Bear or Carnival because we've pretty much have only gone like we used to go the last couple of days of Bear Week and then the following week was like I think Girl Splash, which is like lesbian week or something.
I've been to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was always our favorite because we had like 3 days of like Bear Week was fun. But then we wanted to like turn the page and like the next day, just like Kamala Harris, turn the page. The coffee is working. But yeah, we want to go like off season. I even like the ideas. I know some people who live there all year round, like going like sometimes like in the winter.
Yeah.
And like some of their storefronts have like snow up to the door top.
Yeah, there's a December fling thing that I'm thinking about going to this year. I have a friend that's an artist that has works in a gallery in Provincetown and lives in Truro, and I want to go in December. I've never done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who Timscapes. He owns a store there.
Of course.
It's pretty famous with all like it looks like, you know, duct tape artwork and t-shirts and stuff like that. And I've seen pictures he's shown me of like the snowfall, just the drift up to the roof of his building. I'm like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I think that I'd love to live in Provincetown year round and experience just like be part of that community. I think it's a cool community.
I do too. It's one of my absolutely favorite places in the world. But like, do you think the Dick Dock is closed during the winter though?
I've only like been to the Dick Dock in like an anthropological way. I've never like experienced what it offers.
You bring a stool and a sketch pad. You're like, hold that.
Hold that pose. Yeah.
I'm such a like just open to like all sexual experiences, everything, and I've never been sort of a prude in my life, but I've never gone to the Dick Dock. I know exactly how to find it, but I've never gone and explored it. I'm kind of like
I kind of need that like establishing like I know that we're going to meet and have sex kind of thing. Like I'm not good with like in-person cruising. Like it already has to be established
like what we're gonna do,
Yeah.
how long it's gonna be, are we gonna talk, not talk. Actually, it's funny, I wrote down some questions I want to bring up later, breaking down some terms on like sex apps, but let's save that for later.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to get all of a sudden nervous, like, holy shit, is he ever gonna get around to my music? Hello, what have I done, what have I committed to? So what musically have you been up to in your spare time, not teaching the children or semi-adults, because you're also a professor?
Yeah. I teach some adult students and then I teach college age. Well, I started making this album 2 years ago with my friend Ian, who produced it, Ian Romer, and we came up with 12 final songs that we're putting out on September 27th on vinyl, and
very cool,
which is very fun and was a long process to do, but it's coming out on a transparent root beer vinyl. And I've made videos for 8 of the songs, and I've been slowly leaking them every month. And yeah, so
it's fun. This morning I've just had a complete George Alley morning. That's how I usually come into these very unprepared. I sort of like that excitement of it. Like, of course, the basics, but just like spontaneity. I feel like we're going on a coffee date and I don't have like an agenda. I just have a couple questions I want to ask. But this morning I sat down and I watched, what is it? My Choice to Be Bad and Trophy, Summer Trophies. I keep wanting to say Trophy Boyfriends. It's like Choice to Be Bad and Summer Trophies. And my first exact thought was, when I started both of them, I heard ska.
Oh yeah.
I heard a splash of ska. I don't know if that was
totally. I mean, I love like the Specials and the Selector and I like newer ska, like early No Doubt.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, like and horn. Ian plays the trumpet, so it was easy to get him to play the trumpet and the trombone on a couple of these songs, and that
Oh,
definitely added to the ska vibe for it.
that's fun. I was just surprised. I was like, wait, I feel like I heard ska. Like in the Specials are one of those bands I listened to a lot growing up,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I was like, oh, it was sort of refreshing. I was like, what's this?
Oh, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, one of the classes that I teach at Temple is a class on punk, and so I talk about ska and like the how reggae kind of was this sort of like entry point for punk in general. That a lot of punk artists were listening to reggae before there was any kind of recorded version of punk. And then, ska really is that kind of fusion of reggae and punk.
Yeah. Oh, that's sort of it's interesting sort of thing. And it's not like one of the most, I guess, popular. I don't know. I don't hear a lot about ska. Music's weird to just sort of describe. Like I just talking about ska made me think of like rockabilly. Sometimes I kind of a big rockabilly background, like Stray Cats and I don't know Reverend Horton Heat, and then like Dick Dale was Dick Dale rockabilly. He's like just surf rock.
Surf rock, yeah.
Anyways, but that's another one of those things I've heard it described differently, like what it is. But Stray Cats is usually my first go-to if I have to like give an example.
Yeah, they're great.
Rockabilly.
I like
So
rockabilly.
what is the song Summer Trophies all about?
Well, it's the title of a porn from the early 90s.
It is? Summer Trophies is the name of a porn, like a porn film?
Yeah, with Billy Harrington.
Very erotic.
Very erotic. And it's kind of like about the end of summer and this kind of nostalgia you have when you're thinking about, they could be like those trophies could be lovers or they could be, vacations or your youth fading
Sure.
away. It could be all of those things. So, it's like the sort of like metaphor of the end of summer is like the end of youth in some ways. Yeah.
Like Sandy and Danny from Greece.
Like Sandy and Danny. Yeah.
Another thing it made me think about this morning, I wrote down when I was thinking about what a summer trophy's about. I don't know. I keep thinking of like trophy boyfriends, but I keep seeing people coming back from Burning Man, and I've always heard the term like, oh, that was my Burning Man boyfriend, or like the end of Burning Man, and it's like, oh, I'll never forget my Burning Man boyfriend, or this or that.
Yeah.
So it goes in the sort of the same thing, like an end of a sort of a time frame, and like longing for it, or just remembering back of like something, a feeling from that summer or a boy. I always wish I had a Burning Man boyfriend, because they're always like, yeah, we're super straight, but we fucked all Burning Man. I'm like, what?
I've never been to Burning Man, but
Yeah, I haven't either, but like I surrounded by people from like early burning days, so I even have some of like the slang down, the terminology, and then now I know people who don't go any longer because it's like gotten so large. But yeah, I've never also been to Burning Man. I'm not anti-Burning Man.
Yeah.
I just have never have gone.
yeah. But yeah, there's a song on this album called X-Ray, and it's about a guy I met, like that kind of early days where we didn't all have cell phones, and it was right before I moved to Philly to go to college, and we like met. We were doing like some kind of scavenger hunt, and I ended up like skinny dipping in a pool with him, and we had this like incredible naked. And we had this like incredible romantic experience, but I knew that I was moving, and like what was the point, and so
Right.
having those kinds of like, I think when things end like that, they can be really romantic, and like they become a thing, like a mythic thing in your head, of a past time or a past summer trophy. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that it could be used in sort of different ways.
Yeah.
And choice to be bad. Are you a bad boy? If you want to be, right?
If I want to be.
You can.
Yeah. There's always the option. I actually like woke up singing the chorus of that song, which I've never had in my life.
Oh, that's funny. Like one of those people, like, oh, I dreamt about it in a dream, or she woke up in the morning.
Yeah, with those words and that melody, like all I wanted was the choice to be bad. Yes, I did. And I was like, what is this about? And then I had to kind of make it make sense to me that, oh, I'm talking about like, I want the freedom to like maybe not be what somebody else is expecting of me, whether that's a friendship or a relationship,
I
even.
do like that because somebody's like, oh, there's like regret with being bad because how I'm going to be judged or seen or talked about. But you're like, I chose to be bad.
Yeah.
I did that on purpose. It wasn't just some fluke.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on us to like, um, always be good. Yeah, to always be like a role model or always be a the good person in the story. And I think what was fun for this album was to not always to like show what my flaws were in some ways, and not always be
Yeah.
like the sometimes I'm the villain in the song.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is. You're talking to someone who is a Gemini. So if you know, like, sort of signs at all,
Yeah.
I'm definitely portray or the mask I wear is always a huge smile, even at work. People that know me, like, you're just like the nice, well, I don't know, they said you're nicest, but you look like you're always happy and, always doing good things. And of course, I always put my best foot forward online. I don't put the times that like I budge in line at the store. Oh, lady, I'm not going to talk about that. But as a Gemini, like I definitely have the polar opposite sides. Like I'm a lot darker, a lot, I don't want to say negative, but I'm definitely a pessimist in general. And I don't usually own that or talk about that side as much. I just kind of put out light and sunshine and rainbows.
Right. Yeah, I have a lot of Gemini around me. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's funny.
But and also I think I'm a Cancer. Gemini are kind of like half Cancer in some ways because we're the next sign over from you.
Yeah, it is true. One of my best friends growing up, she was on like the day that the cusp turns into Cancer, and I'm like, we're the same. We're the same.
Yeah.
I had someone read my palm once. I can't remember. I think it was in New Orleans, and they were just like looking at my palms, and I like sort of half believe what they're saying, just half being entertained. And I was like, they're like, oh, they did my chart, and I had like, I think the 12 houses, and I had Gemini everywhere, and they're like, your biggest obstacle in life is gonna be yourself, and I'll never forget that.
But Gemini are like, they're super motivated. I feel like they're great in business, and
Yeah.
I feel like they make things happen.
What are you?
Cancer.
Oh, you are Cancer. You're Cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely an idea person, but I also have some flaws as far as like procrastination and follow through. Even through my website stuff over the years, I've had these ideas. I was going to say phenomenal, but who am I to say my ideas are phenomenal? But I've had these ideas and grandiose thoughts of like what I want to do. Years ago, I wanted to do the little horse, what is the Burt Reynolds, Dolly Parton, best little whorehouse in Texas.
Right.
But I wanted to do like an all gay male cast of that, and I like started talking about it and blah blah blah. But I was like, the ball was rolling so far ahead of me that I was like out of my tips, and I barely. And it was just a thought, but I just was running with it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I can't do that. I have no idea what I'm even doing. But so I'm definitely an idea guy, but with a side of procrastination.
Well, sometimes you just have to make yourself uncomfortable and do it.
Yeah. I am good at trying things and failing or succeeding. I've never had fear of like just trying new stuff.
Yeah. It's important.
I wrote down here, what are some of your outlets for blowing off steam?
Well, music is a big one for me, like I think these characters or like these things that I've said in my songs are kind of like me resolving ideas or feelings I have, or just continuing to have a dialogue with myself,
Yeah.
So I think that it's always been for me that like I'm the most seen when I have the ability to creatively make something and look at it later,
Oh, that's fun. What is the music scene like in Philly for like up and coming artists? I like the term lately, emerging artists. I don't know if that like applies to people who have been working in their ass off for years, because emerging all of a sudden feels like it's their first year of putting out there. But I interviewed musicians last week, Illustrious Blacks out of New York. They're DJs,
Yeah.
performers, and they kept using the term emerging artists, and I just really liked that for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a place for emerging artists in Philadelphia?
Well, I have a friend who created a production studio called Ground Floor Studios. And it's where I did this little concert film that's coming out with my album on the 27th. And I did 2 music videos in there. And they have a lot of opportunity for different artists in Philly to do like production. So I feel like there are spaces, and Philly's got a big punk scene that's still left over, and there are people going to like the skate park, FDR Park, or to like kind of like hidden places. Like there's a like an underground rave space in
Sure.
called the Cliffs that people go to, or there's stuff like that. I feel like for me, like because like so many of my friends are all over the place, like New York or
Sure.
LA or Cleveland, that I've never felt like I'm only like a Philly person, or that I like know or I could speak with complete authority of like what people do in Philly,
Yeah, exactly. Especially with like a lot of people live their lives on the internet, not in a bad way, but just a lot of their interaction with socially, friends, musically, it's just online. So it's just like having like a hometown is like, well, my house, I live, like my stuff is there, but like in general, I'm global.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been in Philly for a weekend this summer, really. Maybe once or twice, So I feel like, but I feel like there is a lot of opportunity here, and I've lived here now since September 11th, so
Okay.
I've been here for a while.
How far a drive is it from Philly to New York, New York City?
It's like 90 minutes on the Amtrak.
Oh, okay, that's closer than I thought.
Yeah, so I'm going
Have
there.
you been
on
to San
Saturday.
Diego?
I have.
You have.
I love San Diego. I went to
Yeah,
this gay restaurant last time I was there, and I really liked it, called like Outside In or something, or Inside Out. Do you know what I'm
don't
talking
know.
about?
I don't.
In like, is there an area called like Whitaker or something, or
Oh my God!
No,
Do I even
that's not
live in
what it
San
is.
Diego?
No.
There's Hillcrest.
Hillcrest.
I live in Hillcrest. That's where I currently live. That's like the gay neighborhood, Hillcrest.
Yeah.
I don't know that restaurant though. There's like a bar and grill called Moe's Bar and Grill. Me and my husband's favorite Mexican place is called Baja Betty's. It's like, I don't know. People like when I say like that's my favorite Mexican place, people are like, oh, "You've never had Mexican food then?" But like we have in Mexico, all over.
Yeah.
We just like it's like a bar restaurant. It's fun. It's like we don't go. Well, I personally don't go out to like socialize at bars a lot unless there's like music or something performing. And Baja Betty's here in San Diego is one of those places I feel like I'm out being social, even if I'm just getting a burrito, because it's like a bar and there's people.
Right.
Then I'm like, I was social this month. Check it off my list.
I'm very similar. Like, I'd rather like hang out with a group of people at a house than like go to a bar.
Yeah. I all of a sudden have not made a ton of friends in San Diego. So anybody out there watching, you want to be my friend? I'm a semi nice guy.
You are a nice guy. Yes.
Yeah, I like to think I am, but I actually, since I moved here, I work and I come home. I work and I come home. So I need to get myself out there more, because the gym doesn't count as socializing either. Because like if I have my earbuds in and working out, I'm not really socializing, right?
No, I don't want to talk to anyone at the gym. I mean, I have a couple friends, but like, I don't get the like, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and stare at people or whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to get in and do it.
I'm similar to that. I've always been that way about working out with friends too. I don't want to. I just want to put on music, because a huge motivator of mine is music. So anything with like loud guitars and screaming, I'm like, that's my jam. And then I work out
Totally.
harder. But I say I don't like like sitting around and talking in between and doing sets. And I see couples at my gym a lot too. They work out together, and there's couples that I see that work out together, but they both have earbuds in. It's just always an interesting dynamic. So it's like also like a anthropological sort of thing I look at the gym. I'm like, how funny.
Yeah.
Because boyfriends look mad at each other, but they're not. They're just working out together, but they both have earphones in. And then I'm like, are they listening to the same music? And here I am just trying to get my titties bigger.
Right. I was at the gym in Fire Island, and it was kind of, I felt like Elle and I could have come in and and cited them. There was so many like problems with like,
Oh, wow.
you know, there was like mats that were like pulled up. Somebody almost tripped on one of them.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
sewage smells, and I was like, this is not ideal.
Sanitary.
Yes,
Yeah.
sanitary.
You got hand sanitizer, went back to the car, you literally just applied it like sunblock.
Yeah. Well, there's no
That is
cars
crazy.
in Fire Island, but yeah.
Oh, that's true. I forgot that that's sort of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
No cars. So September 27th, is that when you said the whole album's going to just drop?
That's
like
right.
The New Year's Eve ball.
Yes. You want to see it? I can bring
Yeah.
it.
Do you have a specific song that's going to come out that day, or as a really? Cause you've been leaking some content ahead of time. I didn't know if like that day you're going to have like a new video or just the whole album to listen to.
I've got a new video called King in Town, which is kind of a story of a jealous king that his kingdom is being taken over by a new person, a usurper, and I did it in this big production studio called Power Plant, and Adam Pedito, who directed like 4 videos on this album, did it. And I've got dancers in weird robes and me dressed up like an evil king and a good king. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, my friend Matt Bell doing skating, rollerblading, and yeah, so it should be fun.
Wait, you said you want to see it, and I was like, then I kept talking. Were you going to show me something?
Oh, I could bring you the album. You want to see it?
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
I know. I'm so bad because I always throw like 6,000 questions at you at once.
No.
Sorry.
I'm into these questions. Hold on one second. So I worked with these like there's a vinyl plant in Cleveland called Gotta Groove, and they do like all kinds of specialty vinyl. So this is the album, which is pretty fun.
That's so good. I miss albums. Like I have to say, like I don't collect vinyl. I think vinyl is very cool. I just am like I've always wanted it, but I've collected some vinyl and I have it on my wall. I just miss the albums that open like this,
Same.
like whatever that is. I
Yeah,
miss those.
gatefold. Yeah,
Yeah,
because you just like can sit and hang out with it.
yeah.
It's got a little download card for people that want the MP3 and stuff. But here's the...
It's root beer translucent, isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see in this light, but it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I can see some of the lights behind it shining through. Oh, I see my face. I'm on your record. You better put me on your record. Then.
I need to give you credit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. How excited are you? That takes an enormous amount of work to like get something of that. The thought to making it happen, then getting it produced, and now the next step, getting it out to the world.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations ahead of time.
Thank you, Mike. So yeah, it's fun. It's available at georgealley.bandcamp.com if people want it.
Sure, I'm gonna link the shit out of this. That's exciting, and I'll definitely help share when the date comes around because the internet's just so large and so much information. Like things get forgotten. I always need reminders of things.
Yeah, it's been interesting to work with PR and stuff and figure out like how you put this stuff out because the internet is that way where like
Yeah,
you kind of have to put a song out every month until the album comes out and then constantly remind, in order to like continue to have a dialogue because things go, if you just drop it all at once, it's there for a month and it's gone.
things are so different like that. Actually, it's sort of in the same sort of lane. I didn't watch the VMAs last night. Was it last night, the night before?
Yeah.
But this morning I was seeing sort of like clips of all of it, and I saw like some of the artist of the year, song of the year. I recognize some of the names, but there's like the song of the year. I don't even remember what it was. I remember artist of the year was Taylor Swift, but the song of the year, I was like, I don't even know what the song was or who the artist was.
Oh, yeah? I didn't
I
see.
know. I don't remember what it was. Taylor Swift was like the artist of the year, but the song of the year, maybe I would recognize it if I heard it. But I was just like, it was just shows like there's so much music and content out there. You have to sort of pick a lane and really market yourself and like kind of make yourself different in a way, niche to get noticed.
Yes. Yes.
Thank God I have no talents where I have to put myself out there to be noticed. I take that pressure off the table. But yourself, it must be burdened to be gorgeous and a voice like that. George, how do you do it?
Thank you, Mike.
Are you a drug addict? Just kidding.
I'm a caffeine addict like you.
Okay.
I'm a nice coffee addict.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Also on the VMAs last night, like Chappell Roan,
Yeah.
who is on everybody's lips, and I love the album. She got in like sort of a little spat with one of the photographers or something because the photographer like yelled some profanity at her, yes, or something, like was being a little bit aggressive towards her verbally. And I guess I saw a clip where she turned around and said, "Shut the fuck up! Don't you talk to me that or tell me to something."
Yeah. I saw
It
that.
was like, it was also like, I'm probably not going to be popular, but I was sort of like, this is the world you're entering. And I know she went from like 0 to 80 in a half a second, and she's like the person of the everything right now as far as musical and emerging stars. But like, I don't know. It's like if she fights every single thing along the way, which she should, anything that bothers her, it's just going to be a tough road, I think.
It's weird because I feel like there's something that's happened with pop culture, and I think hopefully it's changing, but I think, and I've noticed particularly because I was in Fire Island, then I was in Provincetown, so I was talking to a lot of gays about music, and it feels like there's like, particularly like under the lens of gay men, it's like we only like 5 women or something, and like there's this like kind of thing about like wanting to be accepted, and so to be accepted you need to like whoever's popular right now, or choose which one. Are you in Chappell Roan, or are you Sabrina Carpenter, or are you Charlie XCX or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's weird to me because like I think somebody said to me like, well, who's your diva? And I said, Susie is my diva.
Susie and the Banshees.
Of course. And they were all like,
I think some kids might not know what you mean if you said Susie. Susie?
There was like a look of like, everyone was quiet and like,
yeah.
Who? Well, oh, well, like, would you pay $1 million for? Because the question I guess was like, would you pay $1 million for it? And I was like, yes. But it was just like, why do we all have to like the same 5 people?
Yeah.
It
is tricky. Like, same question asked to me, I would have just been like, I don't know, like Courtney Love.
Oh my God, yes.
Or just plays like that. I've sort of never been a huge pop music fan. And a lot of the artists that a lot of gay men do gravitate towards too, I have no interest in listening to them. Not in like I'm better than them, but like years past, like, oh God, I'm going to sip my iced coffee.
This emotional confession you're having.
I'm like, come closer.
Well, this is serious, so I get it.
But like Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, like even Madonna, love Madonna. I respect the woman to death, but after her like second album, I've never listened to another album. Beyonce,
yeah,
I've never. Lady Gaga, these are people that I respect their talent, but I don't have one of their albums, and I don't listen to them on a daily. And so I've always felt sort of an outsider in the topic we were just talking about. I don't like those. And every time I go, if I do go to like a drag performance, it's like the night of Shania Twain. Well, Shania Twain's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like Shania Twain. But
yeah, no. As soon as
but
I
know
said
what
that,
you
I was like, I take that back.
well, I like all the Mutt Lang, whatever, like the Def
Yeah.
Leppard style background vocals on Shania Twain. But no, I know what you mean. It's like, and there's songs by Lady Gaga I like, and there's songs
Yeah, me
by
too. Edge of Heaven or Edge of something.
Edge of Glory. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But like, I just don't understand why we as gay men only want that, or only
Yeah.
like have this pressure to like assimilate with and categorize ourselves in that weird way when we're like gay men. So why are we only
Yeah.
listening to these specific women? You know what I mean?
It's interesting. Yeah, someone else asked the other day a similar question about music, and I usually like women fronted bands because I was sort of growing up. I was very much the girl riot moment and like grunge, and I still of all my favorite singers are all like Sleater Kinney, L7, 7 Year Bitch, Bikini Kill, all these people. And I mentioned a band that's current, like Amyl and the Sniffers, and I was at a table with gay men, and I was just like, huh?
Right. And to
It's
me,
not-
all
she's
that's
not-
gay music. Like Hole
Yeah.
is gay music. Bikini Kill is gay music to
Yeah.
me. So like to me, it's weird.
Kathleen Hanna, like I feel bad, like because usually if you ask like about gay icons and stuff like that, that's like the Whitneys and all that. And I'm like, Kathleen Hanna is a gay icon because she's like always been fighting for like the underdog, and
Yeah.
women's rights and gay rights. And she's like, women to the front. And
Totally. Absolutely. PJ Harvey, all these people.
I was listening to PJ Harvey yesterday. I texted my best friend with a screenshot of my phone, "Bring Me Your Love," and I said, "I'm blasting this on my house, cleaning my house, remembering how good this album is." PJ Harvey. I was like gonna kiss God like this and smoke a cigarette at the same time. Yeah, you
Hybrid.
PJ Harvey, you hit a chord. Oh,
Good.
she's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Your voice has sort of like a ethereal, sort of like eerie, ethereal, like mysterious tone to it sometimes that I really like.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I love all those artists. You know, I mean, you and I both like were in New York in the late '90s, and
Yeah.
you know, like I liked all those kinds of like bands that were playing at the time that from that period too, like Electro Clash, and
Yeah.
you know, I liked Fisher Spooner, and
Remember Luscious Jackson?
mhm.
Band named Luscious Jackson. These are just kind of popping up out of my mind. Luscious Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the best place and where is the best place to people see your content, keep updated with you, support you? Are there anything people can buy of yours to support you? Because supporting like artists is like so important, and it's hard to do because people get music for free online.
Well, they can buy this vinyl, which is at
Yes.
georgealley.bandcamp.com, or at georgealley.com is the link for it.
Is it available now or just after September 27th?
It's secretly available right now. So
Okay.
if you look on there, you can, if you're watching now, you can get it then. And there's t-shirts. There's a couple t-shirts left that are themed from the Summer Trophies music video. And yeah, those are the two main things.
Do you have an OnlyFans page?
Not presently, no.
Okay. I mean, it's not a weird question anymore. Like after like the Olympics just happened and half the men's Olympics athletes had like them just to support their sporting career. It's normalized.
Yeah.
Normalized showing your dick online for money.
Did the pole vaulter do it? That's
No, he had not done it. The pole vaulter, bless his heart, because I've seen Halloween costumes coming out, and they're like, this is going to be the number one hot Halloween costume. It was like a pole vaulter with his dick wrapped around the bar. He has not, to my knowledge, has done it, but he has been offered like a large amount of money, like $250,000 to make a video or something for a porn company.
I see it. Yeah, I could.
Anyways, I would watch it.
Same.
I would watch it. That's funny. It kind of goes right into my next questions.
Yes.
This is about something randomly popped into my head about defining terms on sex apps. And I have these terms down that sometimes in my mind, they all mean the same thing. I am married, but I'm in an open relationship. And so I do go on apps. I'm more on Sniffies lately than anything else, and I mostly talk to guys for like 2 hours and then ghost them. So that's my
This is a
thing.
specific thing.
Yeah, but I'm also like very attracted to like some things, and these are some of the things like in guys' profiles that I'm usually attracted to, not by the fact that the turns, but just like a pictures, and then in their profile they describe themselves as like discreet, like discreet on the DL, anonymous.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to differentiate between like being discreet, being on the down low, and being anonymous, because every guy I want to hook up with, they're usually one of these things.
Well, isn't I mean I know of course Sniffies. I've never been on it, but it's like
Oh, sure.
I'm on the other apps, but I'm not
Okay.
on that one. But to my knowledge, isn't it more like anonymous because people are like meeting in a bathroom or meeting in a they're not necessarily meeting at their home, right?
Anonymous meaning like, oh, they're like in a public meeting or
Yeah, like anonymous sex to me in those situations, unlike DL, which is like don't tell anybody.
like on the DL, like they're. I usually think of that person as being married, like they're on the DL.
Yes.
And the other one was like discreet, which I consider myself discreet out of these, because I also the thing that made me want to break these down is like a lot of times online, like if I'm flirting with someone, 97% of the time I'll just ghost them because I'm not it's like a video game to me. Just turn the game off. I'm done.
Right.
About sending face pictures, like, face picture, because sometimes I'll talk to people that I've seen a body part, an armpit, a chest, some pubes, and I will not hook up with somebody unless I've seen their face. And that is usually like a deal breaker for people that are discreet, download, or anonymous. So just that's what made me start thinking about it. Like anonymous being completely without a face.
Yes, but see, to me, discreet is somebody who's straight or is not in an open relationship.
Oh.
Anonymous is like meet me in the bathroom or I'm tied up with a blindfold on,
Oh.
and
Yes.
I think that's the difference there.
Discreet. Because I like to think of discreet as like, I never preach about, because I'm very sex positive, but I do things in not in the shadows, but in the shadows. Like I won't.
In the shadows.
Well, like I'm not like if I'm at a bar, let's say, and like I'm not someone who's just gonna, even if I'm crazy attracted to someone, like someone I'd like pay money for, which I've never done, but I wouldn't kiss them in a bar. Like I'd like walk out behind the street with nobody looking and be discreet about that. Or if I do hook up with somebody, it's just like, it's our business. I don't let anybody else know about it, because that's how I think of discreet. Like I've always called myself a back alley whore.
I mean, that makes sense to me. I've never I've had somebody who like put their tongue in my mouth at a bar not that long ago, and it didn't register until like we were leaving, because they did it like 2 or 3 times that they were
They're just
hitting.
like,
I didn't realize they were hitting on me.
oh, you're like, this is funny.
I was just like, oh,
COVID for everybody.
totally.
All right. Well, that was just the thing, like about I usually like the dudes. I'm so fucking boring, but like that are like, oh, on the DL. Like I have this like weird like fascination that like maybe are straight and they're gonna run to the grocery store and like come over and like have sex with me, but they're gonna go back to their wife. But the whole like,
have you ever
not
like
sharing a
had that experience?
I've had people that have told me that, but I don't believe them. Like you're not straight married. I don't believe you. If you're at my house sucking on my balls while I jerk off, you're not straight. But my opinions do not reflect those of this show.
You should put a disclaimer.
But I do like that idea. Anyways, it just was like something that came up in my mind earlier. Just the difference between discreet, on the DL, anonymous. And I even put further, number 4, straight, STR, number 8 versus STRAIGHT, like if there's a difference.
That's
but
an age thing.
that's an H thing. Because I like straight. When I see someone straight, like with an 8, the number 8, I'm like, ooh, I immediately think maybe they ride a skateboard.
Like a skater boy a la
Yes!
Avril Lavigne.
Ugh. Man, I don't know. I had no point to this. I just was something that was crossing my mind this morning, like just the terms between discreet,
I think
deal,
straight
anonymous,
with an 8 and
8,
BOI, those are all things that are like
Oh.
our generation. And
boy, yeah.
that's like, if you're under 30, you're not doing STR8.
Yeah.
That's like the no hate campaign. NO.
Oh, yeah. No hate.
Yeah.
All right. What category are you, George? How would you, if you had to label yourself, if Kamala Harris had her kneel against your neck and she said, "What are you, boy?" Would you have to say a twink, a bear, an otter, a prep? How would you describe yourself? You have to answer this question.
This is like the hardest.
You don't.
This is my.
How do you self-identify? That's even better. Okay. How do you self-identify with what label?
I think that's like a question I've been trying to answer for for many decades, Mike. Like
Okay.
I think I feel like I go in and out of other gay worlds, but don't fully identify with any of them, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've been to circuit parties, I've been to, like alt whatever, or like
Sure.
I have friends that have, that are into like the fetish community and whatever, but I feel like
There's one label that fits.
no, even when I was young, I think because I was like darker, like because I'm Lebanese, I don't think that I ever like categorized as a twink, So
Yeah, because you have such a boy face. These are just observations, and you could tell me to shut the fuck up, just like Chaperone did. But yeah, you're such a sweet boy face.
well,
Anyways,
thank
I
you.
have such a, as I'm told, a bear face. Now I'm probably entering daddy era. So I also have never felt like I fit into one of these labels without all my hands in all the cookie jars of art fag, twink, alternative. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, why aren't there more categories? Or
Yeah,
why
don't
are
there
there
no
categories?
categories?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, but I've never assimilated, I guess, enough.
Okay, good. I like that answer. I'm very similar. Like we all look the way we look. So therefore, like just without moving or talking or expressing anything, like, well, people will put us in this category.
Totally.
But yeah, that's how the stupid ass website started. Accidental Bear.
I was gonna say, isn't that why the title is
It is.
Accidental
And
Bear?
I think it is why it happened. I was like, oh wow, I'm in my 30s and I look like this now. And then it was also when hair became really popular and beards, like everything used to be beard and hair. But then I just had everybody complaining about the content. Like every time I'd post a model that wasn't like chubby or hairy, they'd be like, he's not a bear, and they'd be so mad. So
Yeah, I think that's the thing is like the second I hear, I want the choice to be bad, Mike. I want the choice to not
bad
fall
to the
in.
bone. I want you to be my boy Joan Jett.
I love it. I love it. Yeah,
That's the end right there. I want you to be my boy Joan Jett.
perfect.
All right. So thanks for talking.
Thank you, Mike. This
This
is
has been fun. I can't wait to hear the whole album. Actually, I'm going to do house chores today. I'm going to blast it.
Amazing.
I like to listen to the music when I first listen to an album, like as loud as possible. Sorry to my neighbors here in Hillcrest, San Diego. All right, so much. Thanks for talking. Don't be a stranger.
I will certainly not. Thank you, Mike.
Yep, we'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye. See